What's up, guys? Subzeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, we are doing one of my own games because it's PvE. You know, the crazy players haven't started playing yet. So we're just going to watch a cool game that I played on PvE the other day because I had to play a really cool comp, this hero augment. I mean, I was going to say basically, but it is. It is just straight up a hero augment. And one that I saw on playtest, and it seemed really strong. And I mean, you'll see how it goes this game, but spoiler alert, it felt pretty strong in this game as well. So start off with a Jax pair here. This is going to be kind of crucial to the fact that we do end up getting Jax Hero Augment here, and our items end up also being fantastic for this Jax Hero Augment here. I don't know what exactly BIS is on this Jax Hero Augment, and we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for more stats and stuff like that to come out, but we also get drop this Gwynsu's Rage Blade immediately, which is a really nice item. So, the second we see the augment, we can really start yapping about it. But yep, I see it here. Adaptive Strikes. Gain a Jax. Your strongest Jax's attacks deal bonus magic damage every third attack, which gets stronger each time. His ability grants attack speed. So, it's like the Mosher Jax from set 10, where you just have this Jax, he stacks up every 3 autos, he bonks, and you could see there. Well, let's go back. Why not? You can see here, his cast gives him attack speed and a shield, actually. So really nice for Jax. Just, you want to get a bunch of casts off. You want to give him a bunch of attack speed. Gwynsu's obviously makes a lot of sense with this setup. So yeah, I think it's pretty free. Sadly, we don't actually have a Bastion to play on this board right now. So I just opted to play the double Alistar because I'm like, I need to build as much, I need to waste as much time as possible, give this Jax time to scale. And we also immediately slam the Gwynsu's Rage Blade. My idea here is I'm just going to Gwynsu's plus Hodge, Gwynsu's, and then a healing item makes a lot of sense here. And you can see bonk. He's just bonking. He's a big bonky Jax, and he's a sight to see. So yeah, he's kind of a beast. So Jax's traits, he's a Bastion exo tech. If you guys aren't familiar with the traits yet, then what are you doing? No, I mean, I get it. The PvE literally came out yesterday at this point, and maybe even if you the second that all the rundowns came out and you went on Meta TFT or Tactics Tools and looked at all the traits, maybe you already know, but Exotech is kind of like the new Ink Shadow. You would see it right there, actually, and good job past me of hovering over it. There's Bastion here, but there's Exotech. So it gives you these unique items. It's like Ink Shadow, where it gives you an item that only Exotech can hold. It also gives you a little bit of HP and attack speed. When you get to the higher levels, it gives you a lot, actually, because that's per component, right? So it's 7 Exotech, getting 600 HP and 21% attack speed, which is not bad by any means. And our first Exotech item is not bad. It is the one, it gives you HP, and I think the idea is every few seconds, it deals damage to all the units around you. So it's not bad to get some HP onto a Bastion unit. I was just not very excited with it compared to the possibility of, say, playing Vertical Bastion, because yeah, I mean, look at that. When you get to, let's go back and look here. When you get to 6 Bastion, the bonus is really big. So I mean, even the jump from 18 to 50 is really nice, and then from 50 to 6 or 50 to 90 is huge. And also look at that, for the first 10 seconds, they get double. So 180 RMR to start off combat if you get the 90, the 6 Bastion. And the other really nice thing is that Jax is a unit that really wants that kind of front-loaded tankiness, because he wants to scale up and get to the fact where he's bonking. It's kind of interesting, actually, that the augment, it kind of almost sounds like it scales infinitely, but it only scales up to, I think it's five kind of stacks, because every time he bonks, he gets a little bit better at bonking, and it only works after 5 bonks, so 15 autos, then he's kind of at the max amount of bonkiness that he can be, which, I mean, it's not bad by any means, but yeah. Itemization wise, going on to Carousel here, we have tier open. I think I said already, I'm really looking for Hodge here ideally, because it's a healing item I can make onto Jax. And the other thing is, I actually want a lot of gloves, because the third item that I'd really like in this case is QSS. I feel like QSS is almost necessary on this Jax unit and units like this, just because he is a melee carry and you care a lot about him attacking. So yeah, I mean, QSS does that. It gives him attack speed and allows him to not be CC'd, so that he can bonk more, and not having kind of issue where he stops hitting because he gets CC. There's also a decent amount of CC, clump CC and frontline CC in this set. So that's something to be afraid of as well. But now you can see here the Hodge plus the Gwynsu, this Jax is beasting here. Also just really nice to get the double slam here, because I can, especially with the 4 Bastion in here, I'm in a spot where I could actually potentially 5 streak here, and win streaking is good in TFT, and it makes sense, right? I have a Jax 2 with 2 items, so it's not that surprising that I'm win streaking in this spot here. even though maybe it's a little bit of a softer lobby because it's PB. I mean, this was my first game of PBE ever, so obviously a lot of people still, you know, figuring out traits and stuff like that. I guess aside from the Jax, what I'm looking for here, you see me holding on to these Techie units. If you guys watched my Veigar video, you guys know that Techie and Bastion has kind of nice synergy in the fact that there is Shyvana that links both up, and you also have this Poppy plus Veigar kind of connection here. So there's a lot of connections between Techie and Bastion. So my thought is like, well, if I'm going to roll down, I can also roll down for these 1-cost Techies. That's the other piece, is that there's 2 1-cost Bastions, 2 1-cost Techies. So the game is like basically saying, hey, play 1-cost reroll with Techies. So yeah, pick up Glove here. I'm really looking for the QSS. Don't end up getting it here, but I do get something else that I'm pretty happy to slam here, and we're just going to roll down this round. It is 3-1. We're level 4. We want the max amount of rolls that we can get here. We roll a good bit and don't hit that many Jaxes, honestly. I mean, we hit an okay amount, but yeah, I mean, we get to the end of our roll down here and really not that many. We get to 6. It's not bad. But yeah, I end up making Redemption here. Redemption really, really nice when you have these super, super tanky front lines. So, you know, he's going to heal up, give damage reduction to all the other Bastion units, and just become kind of a beast on my front line. And we obviously just throw it on the Jax because consolidating items is always good in TFT. Never fall into the trap of like not consolidating items because you want like BIS or something. So next augment here, high voltage heroic rabbit glass cannon. I actually kind of want to look back on this because I don't think heroic rabbit makes any sense. It's not very high value when you're using the duplicators on 1 cost. You really want to be doing like 3 costs or 2 costs at the worst. And yeah, I'm just not that excited about that. And we're at a pretty good spot econ wise. Glass cannon obviously seems horrible here just because like, I mean, you'd have to backline your Jax to really get good value out of it. Replication pretty tough. Yeah, I end up just taking high voltage here, which I mean, I think in hindsight makes sense. It's not the best. I talked about this in the previous video, but this board actually does have a lot of like inherent MR shred. I guess we're playing less of a techie focus, so I'm not that likely to fit Fiddlesticks. Normally, if you fit Fiddle, then you just get MR Shred for free. And Alawi also gives MR Shred. She gives flat 15 MR Shred on her cast. So, like, you don't need MR Shred as much in this comp. I think, actually, I mean, looking back on it, I mean, this is definitely the take. I don't think any of my other options were very good. I guess you could take, like, Salvage Bin and hope you get, like, QSS from it, but I don't know. It seems too messy. I think this makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, and we pick up another win here. 3-2, just smurfing on the lobby. Just scouting around just to see what everybody else is doing, because I think that player was playing Veigar reroll, and I was kind of afraid they were going to steal some of my Bastions, but it didn't really look like they were going to steal a bunch of Bastions, so that's pretty nice. And I'm also just scouting the lobby to see, like, how strong is everybody? Like, how much do I need to roll down here? I actually moved. We can like, look at this, because it's actually kind of smart. I mean, I'm a genius. I see that person. I'm so bad at pausing. Let me bring the speed down so it's a little bit easier. But yes, I see this person. This person has a Vi 2 here with double Onyx Spark with the Onyx Spark augments. And I'm like, if I run into this person and I don't kill this Vi quickly, I'm going to be in a really scary spot. So you see I move my units over so that Jax and Shyvana are both ideally going to aggro onto that Vi. It doesn't end up fighting, like I don't end up fighting them, so it's kind of moot, but hey, nice little, these are little optimizations you can make, just like make sure that you're focusing down units like that, because the faster we kill that, the less value they're getting out of the double spark there, which is, I mean, it's going to be a ton of damage against my board if I do end up allowing that thingy to live. But yeah, I mean, we're in a pretty good spot. 5 Seraphines, 6 Jaxes, 5 Puppies. We get a double item carousel here, and I really want this cloak to just finish off my Quicksilver. I can't pick it up here, so my next best thing is just to create like a completed item in the spot. Just grab completed item here, and I mean, the only reasonable one, and the one that seems quite nice here, is your Sunfire Cape. Can make Sunfire here. This is going to give us the anti-heal. We have a lot of gold here, so I think it's really, like, it makes a lot of sense to roll down here. I say, you know what, I hit 7 Jaxes, so I'm going to roll to 40, and then I hit 8 Jaxes, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to roll it down to 30, and then I think, yeah, I get to 30 gold, and I even dip to 20, because I'm like, I'm so close to hitting here, and I know I'm fighting this person here who's level 7. In hindsight, their board's kind of trash. I got really scared because I scouted them and saw that they were level 7, so I decided to roll it deep. But honestly, looking back on it, like looking at their board, their only upgrades are Vi and Morgana. Like, I probably could have realized that I was just going to win this fight, that they weren't going to have the damage to kill my Jax, and not rolled down so deep. But I did end up rolling. We end up winning the fight anyway, so all good, I guess. It ends up working out, but yeah, a little bit of a sus roll down in hindsight. I also really want this Alawi 3. I'm actually pretty close there, so opt to salt the Shiv, and then we pick up Jax 3 here, so boom, now we definitely don't need to roll any longer this stage. Still want off Seraphine 3, but I mean, she's got no items for her, right? There's no need. And yeah, we're just gonna chill in this spot, because yeah, why not? Most fights we should be easily winning here just with a big Jax 3. This guy does have Veigar too, and honestly, this guy ends up kind of being pretty scary. Just the idea of Vhagar is quite scary for Jax because Vhagar has that true damage. The nice thing is, though, that I hit Jax 3, so Vhagar isn't dealing true damage to Jax. If you guys didn't catch my last video on Vhagar, by the way, go watch it. But Vhagar does true damage if he is the same star level as a unit, and then he does more damage if he's a higher star level than a unit. Jax is 3-star, Vhagar's 2-star, so he's actually not doing any of that true damage. But the scary thing, if they get to Vhagar 3, is they're going to get a lot of true damage, and Jax is a Bastion. All the armor and MR in the world won't stop against true damage. So yeah, that is the idea there. We get the QSS drop, which we are so hyped for. Opt to just level up here at this point because we really don't have all that much that we are looking for on level 5 at this point. We really just want to push level 6, get this Vhagar in to get Battle Boss onto our front line, and then we move these items over, go this, make Quicksilver, make the Guard Breaker as well. That's going to go into backline, and yeah, we're really happy. Only downside is I don't know where this chain's going, but I like these items on Jax a lot. I don't know if this is BIS. There were other different kind of BIS back when Mosher Jax was a thing. I think at some point people built like JG on him, QSS Hodge JG or something like that, because QSS does give attack speed and Gwynsu's does give attack speed. So like maybe you don't even need the whole thingy. I'm not completely sure. Also, augment wise here, I'm like, I have to take this. It's every third attack deals additional 130% damage and heals. Like this is perfect with Jax because every third attack he's bonking harder. Like there's no way I'm taking anything else here. But yeah, end up hitting an Alawi here, and I'm like, okay, I can just roll to 40 here. Honestly, yeah, I dip even lower here. I try to remove her the Shyvana, but miss the items here. And I actually, I make this swap kind of nicely, but I'm trying to think back. Oh yeah, the only downside here is that my Alawi does just end up taking, aggro first here, and my Jax does not aggro onto the Sylas very quickly. If I have my Jax aggro onto Sylas to start the fight, it's okay, but sadly, the Jax walks to the right there. I don't have the Jax in a good spot to hit Sylas, so I actually get soloed out by this Wolf Unchained, this Sylas unit. Yeah, it's actually so gross. This Sylas just did 1 billion damage to my board. He also, the second he ascended with Talisman of Ascension, I should have known that the fight was over. So yeah, actually lost to a positioning diff there. Like had I positioned correctly, I certainly could win that fight. Just needed Jax kind of like to the bottom left of the Alawi so that he would walk up and then aggro onto the Sylas immediately and just focus him down. And we do actually have a fight later where I do get a lot better positioning, and you can just see the diff there. You can kind of also see the diff. This board, it feels pretty good right now, but we are in kind of a power. We do win this fight, which is not bad, but we really need to get to 6 Bastion, I realize, after fighting some of these boards. Like, this board on 4 Bastion, sure, it's fine, and I did hit some stuff, so I'm feeling pretty good, but I really need to get to 6. I think, yeah, I have to just take Seraphine here just to guarantee Seraphine 3. And Bow's not even bad as far as an item goes on her. Can't really build red buff because, we already have the Sunfire made, but, it could be probably not Static Shiv as well because we have Spark, so it's really just gonna be Nashers, GS, Gwynsu, any of those. It could be a Titans. I do have this Titans I can make, and I kind of thought about it a bit, but I just, at the end of the day, I was like, I don't think Titans is better than Gwynsu on this Jax. I'm never moving Hodge, and I'm never moving Quicksilver. I thought for a second, like, I could take off Hodge because I'm getting a lot of healing from the healing augment that I have, but I don't know. I have to just stick on this. And yeah, we do look at this. We fight this Vhagar 3, and he just, look at the amount of true damage, 11,000 damage. He just blows through my Bastions because, all my other Bastions, or, barely of them are frontlined. We go to our 4th augment here. By the way, this was, if you guys didn't catch it, the portal that we're in gives us a 4th augment, which is so fun. Yeah, honestly, I'm just looking at Inspiring Epitaph here. It's shield onto all my Bastions, which is really nice. It's also extra attack speed for stuff like Jax. Malicious Monetization I thought was funny there. I don't know how that interacts with the minion round. Like, does it still go on the minion round? My assumption is like, yes, because it says 3 rounds, but like, then you just get gold for killing the minions. That actually seems kind of bad because it's only 5 units. I guess it guarantees you get that, but yeah, all good. So yeah, we end up fighting the Zeri board. This Zeri board also ends up kind of being a terror because Zeri is very good at scaling, and she is also, single target. She's just boom, 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 auto on your unit. And so if she ends up on my Jax, I will be quite sad. So yeah. I don't even want to make this Vhagar 2 because I know the second that I level up here, I'm just going to dig for 6 Bastion. I just need to find it on 7, which is a little bit scary because of the fact that obviously I need to find a 4 cost or a 5 cost if I'm a Giga High Roller on 7, but it's fine. I'm just like, I need 7 Bastion here. Or 6 Bastion, yeah. So I pick up the Galio, I pick up the Puppy 3, pick up Galio 2, and I'm just rolling here down for this, the Sejuani, and now I'm in a great spot again. Item-wise here, I'm kind of thinking I probably have to make a Protector's Vow here, and so then I'm just trying to figure out what my second item is going to be in this spot, and I end up going for Nashers and then Protector's Vow here. Protector's Vow is going to sit on the Seraphine for a while. It's like kind of a fake mana item on her, but then the dream is for that to go onto stuff like the Sejuani later. But I mean, yeah, look at this. Look at the just a night and day difference. This Jax and this entire board just feels so much harder to kill now that we're on the 6th Bastion. It's just such a buff here. So yeah, 6th Bastion, quite important for this board. Still really scared of stuff like the Veigar and the Zeri. We also have this random 3-star Poppy that's just sitting here on itemized, but I mean, it's HP, it's frontline on the board, you know, you can't be mad about it. We rotate into Veigar again, and I kind of realize I need to declump a bit, like my main units here, because Veigar is AoE when you have cyberboss in, and I mean, just look at this. I mean, still, even with 6th Bastion, who cares about 6th Bastion? This Veigar is doing like 30% true damage here, though you also see the power of the Seraphine. She actually kind of smurfs this fight really, really hard. How much damage did she do here? Yeah, 6k, and Alawi actually dealt 5, honestly, unsung hero is the Alawi there. Alawi dealt 5k that fight. I mean, she's got the Sunfire and the Spark helping her out, but I mean, still, that's actually really nice. I did not realize Alawi dealt so much in that fight. But yeah, I'm realizing like, okay, versus that person, I got to be kind of scared. Versus the Zeri person, I just want to make sure my Alawi's in front of the Zeri. I also move this Galio to the edge here, thinking, okay, he can actually stun this Zeri. He's got weird targeting. He targets the unit that's like dealt him the most damage, but I think Zeri dashed out of his Hex range, so he wasn't able to go there. Also, Jax just, this fight is so hard. Like the Jax just walks up, but then doesn't actually get to backline. Like, and this guy actually is really tanky frontline or backline, frontline. I was just like, man, I don't know what to do there. But yeah, going into Carousel here, just ideally looking for a final Seraphine item here. Can't end up picking it up, so I just take this thing. I take the Crown Guard here, and I do have this Koboko that I want to level up and play here. Play this, and the idea is just, I thought like, maybe I put the Battle Boss onto the Poppy, but no, I mean, I think Cyberboss, yeah, it's Cyberboss, sorry, not Battle Boss. It's just too good on Koboko. It ups his range on his ult by 1. That is just so big. It gives him a much bigger AoE, and you can see here, I put him right in front of the Silas to try to get him to CC. The only downside is actually my Sejuani dies quickly, but you can see night and day difference here. We aggro onto the Silas before the Talisman of Ascension procs, and it's just light work there. Like, we really just want to make sure that our Jax is aggroing onto the Silas, and then, you know, that fight is easy. Also, Renekton too, I didn't realize from Sylvalix there. That's actually so annoying now that I think about it, because like I want that person to not be doing all that, but I guess that's life. But yeah, just trying to make sure that my Koboko stays on the highest priority units. Once again, I don't declump here. AoE wise, really bad, because you know, the Veigar's aggro into my Alawi, but just look at the residual damage going onto Jax just from the AoE. At least my Koboko did work, and then my Jax kind of walks out of range here. Look at this, by the way. He jumps to a dead unit and drops aggro there. The Veigar aggroes onto the Sejuani, and then the Jax pops off. It's actually hilarious. I did not... I mean, yes, I completely planned that, by the way. It was just as planned. So, yeah. We also have this Koboko, 2-item Koboko, 2-item Seraphine setup. I just thought the Vow would do better work on Koboko to get the cast off, so I kind of thought I had to do this, but it is really awkward to obviously have 3 items on neither in this spot. So yeah, a little bit awkward, but at least I can take items for whoever here. So yeah, I level up here. I'm trying to figure out what I want to roll for. Well, what I really want here is Garen, and I kind of do a horrible thing here and end up not having a unit for this Aurora to throw in. I end up taking another Aurora, but Aurora can't throw in an Aurora, so this Aurora is just useless. It's not good. I'm gonna get Anima Squad in here, which is like pretty fake, but I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world, so I end up playing it. But I really want Garen for the idea that I really would like a Bastion Koboko. 6 Bastion on my Koboko I think is gonna be so big here. So that is the plan here. I really want Garen in this spot, and I do finally hit him here. I'm also 37 HP, so my odds of living 2 rounds is, I mean, I'm basically guaranteed to live 2 rounds. I was like cheering that I would win one of these fights, because I mean, that would truly guarantee, like, worst case scenario, I take like a huge loss here, and then I'm afraid of like dying before I get the God of the Net proc, but I think it's going to be fine with how strong my board is here. And yeah, I'm really just digging for that Bastion Koboko. Just getting that extra Armor and MR onto the Koboko, I think is just going to be absolutely huge here. But yeah, we end up winning this fight even, so that makes life so easy. Means that we're guaranteed to be able to push level here, and, well, not push level, but push, you know, the ability to get Koboko in. I also end up rolling here with the idea that like, okay, if I hit, you know, like a Koboko 2, I can just like unmake the Galio. I think, oh yeah, and I'm also looking for Renekton at this point. So yeah, just hoping to pick that up. Really just want to make sure that my CC is hitting important units and that my Jax isn't taking aggro here. I end up actually like worst case scenario positioning here where my Jax just gets blown up by the Veigar like immediately here. So yeah, that is certainly my bad. Though, I mean, this guy's board looks really, really strong. Yeah, that is a huge loss we take there. I didn't even realize, but yeah, that was a crazy big loss. So yeah, on Carousel here, technically I could take like Exotech +1, but I don't think it actually does anything. I just want to take the Warmogs here just to give Koboko an item, especially with the idea that if I get Bastion here, the Warmog's gonna be so good. But look, I don't hit Bastion here. It's actually so tragic. So the only thing I can take is Techie, and I'm like, who's the best Techie holder? Honestly, just throw it onto Jax. Why not? It's not even bad. Just guarantee a Techie Jax, and I'm also just rolling, desperately trying to find upgrades because now I am getting kind of low in this spot here. Just slam this chain here, but at least now I have my Techie on my Jax. He's not going to get CC by any kind of Sejuani or anything like that. The Zeri also ends up in my backline somehow. I don't, honestly, can we go back at this? Whoops. Can we go back at this fight and see how the Zeri ended up there? She dashes up to frontline and then, yeah, that does not seem right. She dashed into my frontliners and then she was all up in my backline. Yeah, I don't know how exactly or why she did that. I guess she got like blocked by some stuff, but that looked a little suspect. Yeah, Zeri's kind of a funny unit. But anyway, she does all that. I end up, I think, selling the Garen here, just saying like, Garen 2 is honestly not going to do anything for me at this spot. And then I immediately hit another Garen, which is so sad. And then I immediately hit Renekton. It's so sad. And I'm like, please, please, just give me like Koboko 2 or something like that. But I just want to make sure that my Alawi takes aggro first here. I like this swap a lot, just to make sure that my Alawi is taking aggro from the Zeri. The only downside is once Zeri gets to the complete opposite side of the board, the Alawi is going to drop aggro, but she takes aggro for so long here. Zeri has a 6 hex range, which is really, really big. So you can see the fight goes decently here, just barely not good enough. And I dropped down to 1, which, I mean, I'm not really a fan of being at 1 HP. I was honestly, I wasn't sure if I was dead there. And I mean, if I had killed one less unit, I would have been dead there, which was kind of scary, I'll say, kind of scary. But I mean, there's not really much else I can do. My board looks good. I mean, I have all these upgrades sitting on bench, right? Sedge 2, Kobuko 2, Renekton 2, all these huge upgrades on my board. So if I just hit any one of those, I mean, hopefully I can pick up a win, but it's definitely scary. So I'm gonna roll down first here, see what I hit, and then make a decision. I hit the Sedge, and I'm like, well, I have to make this here. And then I think I'm just taking the TG, and I'm like, let's check what items it is. It's, you know, kind of weird items. Like I could have thrown it on Renekton, but I think it's just good onto Sedge. And then I also put Sedge in the corner here, hoping that she's going to hit Zeri, but then I realized, like, wait, the Zeri's going to run away really quickly. So the Zeri ends up, yeah, dashing out of the Sedge ult. So that was actually a big blunder on my fault. But at least the Sedge is pretty tanky here. The Sedge adds a lot of tankiness to my board, and you can see the difference in this fight, right? My board is so much stronger with just the extra HP from the Sedge. My Jax doesn't get focused down as quickly, and we win the fight and take the first. I mean, it's beautiful. It's an absolute beautiful game. Absolute tuber. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, all my other links down below. I'm streaming more, so actually go check out my Twitch, but also my Metafy. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.